Well, it's that time of year again. It's the end of days. We now know when FM20 is going to be released. November 19th! Woohoo! It seems a little late, right? The date is much later than, say, last year's date for the game release, but that's okay. It gives us over another month to play FM19 before the full game of FM20 comes out. So what are you going to do with that time on FM19? It's always one of the trickier things for me. Each time a new edition of the game gets closer and closer, I become less interested in the previous edition. I'm just excited for the new one. But the particularly late release time means that we're sitting here on FM19 for quite a while. It also means I had to use my brain much more than I'm normally comfortable using it to cook up ways to keep FM19 entertaining in our last month together. Roll the thing. I'll preface this video with, this is a video game. As emotionally invested as I can become in it, it's still a video game. Do whatever you want that is fun for you, or don't play it if it's not fun for you. But a lot of people can get stuck in this period, so here are some ideas of what you can do in your last month of FM19. First, this is a fun one. One that you can do with the vanilla game. You don't need to add any updates or anything, any databases. You can try to imitate history. Some amazing things happened during the season that FM was designated to predict, or at least FM19 was designated to predict. You had Liverpool avenging the Champions League. You have Tottenham getting all the way to the Champions League final. You had Ajax continuing its incredible success. You also had people going in the other direction, like Manchester United. Or from an outside perspective, basically every English team that doesn't win the Champions League or the Prem every year is somehow going backwards. So any of those teams. You had Real Madrid getting absolutely clapped around. You had Bayern barely surviving Dortmund. All of these things happened from the universe that started with FM19. And you can try and make them happen again. The reason I think this is a fun idea, and it's actually the one that I might try out, is you're going to be able to get it done in one season. You're just reliving that last season. So no pressure, no grinding to some sort of conclusion of the challenge before FM20 comes out. You just play through one season and see if you do better, worse, or maybe even the same as the team did it before you. It's a good way to measure yourself against real-life managers. Can you be as good with Man City as Pep is? Boom. There you go. This, of course, can apply to whatever local club you support or you observe to do something insanely good or insanely bad, and see if you can change the course of history. Maybe to hope, if you're like a United fan, ease your own suffering. I think actually the most interesting one might be River Plate. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong. And Boca Juniors, take a spin in South America. You got 1 year. Try to avoid the tear gas, though. Now, this next one, for people that know me and people that watch the stream, I know that this one's going to get me fired up. For the first time on an FM YouTube channel, I'm going to be able to talk about international play, mainly because I wrote the script. But I think another fun idea in your last month of FM19 will be to just dip your toe into international play, see if you can win a World Cup. Now, this takes a lot of processing, obviously, and you need to have a lot of leagues loaded. But if you're not looking to get super emotionally invested and not looking for a particularly intensive save in your last month of FM19, you just throw Netflix on, or Hulu, or Prime, or YouTube video, or HBO. I think that's it. Throw any of those on and then just let the game process. Let it go through the months between your international contests, try and qualify and win the World Cup with the team of your choice. It also does not have to be the World Cup. There are a bunch of kooky international cups that you might have never competed in Football Manager that are there for the taking. The Caribbean Cup, the West Asian Cup, the Asia has a cup for basically every section. Try and win one of those cups. Try and win multiple of those cups. Manage an international team see where it goes. This is the relaxed version of what you can do in your last month while you're sitting there watching someone else to pass the time in between. Have to make sure you load enough leagues, because if you haven't tried international play before, you need to have the leagues loaded where your players are going to be playing, or else it won't make too much sense. So if you want to manage a country that's too obscure, then you might have to add a database or two. Easy enough. Check out the FMBase website. It's right there. You didn't think I could do that, did you? And a bit of an aside, I've never won a World Cup in Football Manager, and it is not for the lack of trying in my personal stuff before I started talking to you people about it, and I actually don't think I've ever managed a national team on stream. Moving on, your third option. Remember, these are definitely the only options you have. This one actually works nicely with the FMBase website I led you to earlier. There is a database, a thing you can add to your game called a transfer update. It's easy enough. You can find it right here. It's FM Inside's update, and it will catch you all the way up to September of this year. So basically FM20 rosters already. And we all know that Football Manager only changes so much from year to year. I'm gonna buy FM20 anyways, but you can live FM20 already by getting these updated rosters. If you've had enough of living in last year, you don't want to imitate history, you don't give a flying flip
Watch your profanity
about international play in general, which is usually a section of you, then that's fine. You can already have the new season rosters incredibly up to date, because FM Inside is awesome. Find it on the FMBase website and you're good to go. Start playing FM20 Lite. And if you're getting FM20, this could still be fun. You basically just map out what save you want to do in the next game. Say, hey, I want to play as Carmarthentown in Wales. You want to play as Carmarthentown in Wales? Well, you can get the transfer update and you will already know what you have at your disposal when you start that save. You can take a crack at the first season and then blow yourself away when you do so much better the next time you try out the first season in FM20. It could also go the other way, but we don't like to talk about that. Speaking of going the other way, you can imitate history, or you could try to rewrite it. I promise you this isn't as bland as me just saying the exact opposite of what I said before. I'm not trying to waste your time here. I am, however, always a big fan of trying to overthrow the big bully. The Bayern Munich, the Juventus, the new Saints. I'm a big fan of trying to overthrow them all. But what if you only had one season to do it? What if you took over Napoli, or Dortmund, or Real Madrid? Somebody that's getting bossed all over the place and has a big bully that they need to take over. What if you went to one of those clubs and liquidated all of the young talent to make one run at one season? Complete win now mode. Take all those youngsters at Dortmund and cash them in for people who are going to help you win now. Would you? I really don't know, but it's worth a shot. You get a limited time window, and it would be heralded as one of your greatest Football Manager achievements if you were able to pull it off. Not bad for the last month of the game. That is also the other one that I'm considering in my free time doing down the stretch. And I'll keep you updated how it's going, but only if you're hanging out with me on some of the links down below. Of course, like and subscribe to this wonderful channel, and those details will be right down there. Right above the details, you can come and hang out with me too. I have Twitter, we've got a Discord where we all hang out, and I stream 4 days a week. So it's really convenient. You just come in, hang out, playing Football Manager most of the time, but you can always ask me any questions you have, or tell me that you had a brilliant, better idea about what you can do with your last month in FM19. I'd love to hear it. The last idea I came up with after racking my brain for ways to entertain yourself in the last month of FM19 is one that I honestly need to try more. It's to try new things. If you're getting the new game, then you'll have it in a month. If you're getting it early, then you'll have it in 2 weeks. 2.5 weeks-ish. Then that means whatever you're committing to in this last stretch of FM19 is not as big of a commitment as devoting your first month to the game, where you could be continuing on into the eternity of the next 11 months. Which means if you've never managed in South America, take a spin. Go to Peru. Even without downloading any databases, of which there are, of course, plenty good ones in the FMBase site, and all over the community, where you can manage in basically every country you want to. Without even adding that in, you can go to South America, you can go to Hong Kong, you can go to Indonesia. Wouldn't recommend the Indonesian second flight. It definitely took a piece of my soul. That was my first ever save, and I was convinced that the match engine was awful. Turns out it was just the players. Probably should have known that, but still, if you've never managed in one of these crazy countries, Malaysia, a little better than Indonesia, go for that one, then time to give it a spin. Play a year or two, and maybe you'll find out that you like it more than you thought you would. Or you'll find a couple of players you like that you want to schmooze for the next game. Not quite sure what this was. If you dare, you can even take a crack at the local league for me, the MLS, which I also don't manage in because it's way too complicated. Honestly, it would probably take you about 2.5 weeks to read the rules, which could be helpful. Maybe it's fun. Or you could just manage in Mexico and then beat the American team.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
The United States will get there eventually. Then there's my last recommendation for what to do with your final month on Football Manager 19. Go outside. I mean, you don't have to play it. You know, I spend 11 months of the year playing this game religiously, and this is normally the 1 month that I don't spend as much time playing it. 1, I don't find it as fun, and 2, it's a nice little break for me. You don't have to play it. Don't feel pressured to play it. There is a world that exists outside of this. Even if you don't want to go outside, there's always another game in your Steam library you haven't touched in a while, so show it some love. Speaking of love you guys. You made it all the way to the end to hear that sensational suggestion. Please, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button. It helps a lot, and I, for one, would really appreciate it. We would all really appreciate it. I'd be flattered. It brings a smile to my face. And the downvote also does, because I love self-deprecating humor. But the upvote is preferred. Also, hit the comments. Let me know any other ideas you have, or how one of these ideas cracks out for you. I would love to know. Keep an eye out for that video tomorrow telling you how to get the FM20 beta if you ascribe to the last recommendation that I gave you and just want to get to FM20 as soon as possible. I will tell you how to do it, and everybody can get into the open beta. So it's easy, and that video won't be that long, which is why we're releasing 2 videos in 2 days. Whatever. Cheers. It was very matzah of me with the... I'm just missing the hat. Hi! He passed selection, all right. Holy cheese crackers, man. We need to score. Come on. Oh, God. That's all. Oh! No! Wow! Immediately! Suck it, you stupid rule!